You ever go into a meeting and it's about some piece of business? Maybe you're the guy. Maybe you got the good ideas, you got the connections, or maybe you got the money. Somebody sets a meeting, they ask you to come on down there. You go, oh, you don't really know what's going on, but you've been through this dance before. You will know at high hello if you're about to get an ask. And you will also know who has the power in the relationship by the tone of that ask. And you guys will be able to relate because you've done it. Not just you've had it done to you. I don't know if you've had it done to you. I know you've done it. That's where you're going, oh, hey, it's great to meet you. Hey, thank you for coming. How's everything? What is this? Real nice, real friendly. The bill comes, boy, you couldn't have got to it faster. It's like the guy had alligator arms. You called this meeting. You're going to pick this up. Here's my credit card. And I just offer you, it's a massive tell. There's many things out there that are written about an alpha male, a sigma male. There's things that are written about power. Who's got it? How do you know? And many of them will contend, if you want to be respected, don't be nice. If you're in a meeting and you want to be respected, don't be nice. Don't put on the fake smile. Don't do the, hey, how's everything? Oh, man, it's great to see you. Guys, that's your car outside. Oh, it's beautiful. I've always wanted one like that. Many people say that. And it is pretty easy to see. And there's certain things in life, there's a way you got to do it. There's just a way you got to do it. You guys know I like politics. I'll give you a great example. If you're ever running for the presidency, one thing that you must do, not maybe, 46 of them, all 46 of them have done it. You're running because you want the power. There's ego involved. There's some narcissism involved. There's some prestige involved. And that's why you're involved. But you must convince the people that you're here for them and not for yourself. And it's hard because it's never been true, not once. Aside from General George Washington, who was a reluctant leader, it's never been true. But the guy that could do a better job of making you believe it is going to have an advantage. And red Pannonite's a real thing. Red Pannonite is still a real thing. So to understand why somebody would want that opportunity, of course I'm talking about the great Michael Chandler right now, to understand why he would want that and he would try to hold on to it is very obvious. But if it's right, everything's a trade. Have you guys ever had to do that? Did you ever have to sacrifice a little something, get something else, and so you justified it? You ever had to do that? And it did come through and you did get it. And you can live with your decision. Because this thing that you got was larger than whatever the idea of, I don't think I'm willing to do this, right? It's life. Very common. So Michael Chandler, I could see where would be willing to miss opportunities, not be looking at the rankings, getting passed over, ultimately don't have a fight, don't get a paycheck. I'm willing to be dangled and brought along on the chance that the fight happens. I would get that, and if it happened, it would all be worth it. The other side is the only other side is it doesn't happen. Right? There's not a third option. Chandler and McGregor fight. Chandler and McGregor don't fight. So if you get brought along, if you get passed over in the rankings, if you got red panties dangled in front of you, if you run around the country, I'll fight him at 55, I'll fight him at 70, I'll fight him at 69 and a quarter, I'll fight him on the moon, right? It's one of these things, and it's been said, and it's very clearly out there, and it's already out. It's very hard to take those things back, and then the fight doesn't happen. It's tough to unfry that egg. It's very tough. Now, this is life, right? You take risks. I'm just sharing for you. You got Henry Cejudo, whose opinion matters, saying it isn't going to happen. You have other fighters, including an article that got posted on the interwebs today, saying they are going to do it. They're just going to do it without Chandler. There's no trick to that, but I'm sure this is the narrative. You have Conor himself saying, I haven't gotten around to doing the paperwork. You got USADA saying, we're going to fight, but we're going to do it this way, which is 180 days. You got Chael over here saying, man, there's nothing about this fight that looks like you're fighting. There's three people, talk about the boss, Chandler, and Conor. All three of them, they weren't together. They were interview, phone call, interview, and asked what weight class they were fighting at. 3 different answers. There's nothing about this that feels like a fight. Now, if you still think it's going to happen and Red Painting Night is real, and you better believe that it is, and how you're going to work yourself in on that when it's not a championship fight and you're not a champion anyway, and there's no participation. I mean, I don't totally know. But those big fights, those big opportunities, this is what people dream of. I would understand it, but when the writing is on the wall and this isn't going to happen, whether it's a bluff or not, it is important that it's your idea. I mean, McGregor's got a great one, and I really do appreciate it. He hit it on old Michael Chandler. Chandler might be my favorite fighter, by the way, guys. I mean, this is why I'm paying such attention and why I am concerned and I am interested. Not to mention Alvarez and Poirier weighing in on it. I'm highly interested in this match, even if it's at 168.3 pounds and they're going to do it on the Saturn. But it doesn't change it. If Chandler was to come out, let me just give you a scenario. If they're going to do the fight, if that fight's going to happen, there's nothing to see here. There's a piece of info and we don't have it. That's there, but we haven't been told. But if you knew what it was, it would actually all make sense. Okay, let's just pretend. In a perfect world, let's just pretend that's what it is. Then what difference does it make if Chandler calls out somebody else? What difference does it make if Chandler, who's already been in there with Gaethje and Poirier, and they were great fights, and they're fighting for a title, well, what difference would it make if he inserted himself and called somebody else out, even if he's not going to get it, even if he doesn't want it? If they're going to do the other one, what difference would it make? Charles Oliveira is getting ready to fight Dariush. You guys understand that? Okay, if Charles Oliveira calls out Conor McGregor, what difference does it make? They've already got the fight. They're already playing the fight. They're going to do the fight. We may not have the information, but they do. They're going to do the fight. What difference would it make? And at some point, when this is looking like it's going to go against Shred, the great line that Conor McGregor has, guys, it really is a great line. But Conor McGregor will look at somebody. He will tell them to do something. They'll say no. Conor McGregor will say, you will do as you're told. And I've heard Conor hit this condescending alpha male line on multiple people. They know it's coming because he's used it. There's something called redundancy, right? You watch him slip and throw the left hand. You watch his interviews, at some point he's going to tell you, you're going to do as you're told. None of them have had a comeback yet. So it's one of these things where when you can come out in those power plays, it's very interesting. Conor McGregor's got them all waiting. He got the fans that want to buy tickets in November. The fans that are going to do something in December was rumored to be pretty big. He's got the United States Doping Agency on pins and needles, wondering if they're going to have this fight that Chael's cheering for. He's got them all waiting. They're playing his game. The only thing that Conor McGregor has ever sold, and by sold, I mean the only thing that he's ever made you think he has that he doesn't. He told you he was good. He told you his confidence. He told you his skills. He told you his knockout power. He told you he'd go over and do boxing. He told you he could draw. He could sell. He told you all of these things. They were all true. All the things Conor says are true, except for one. Power. Conor has sold power from day one. He has no power. He has no influence. There is nobody that I'm aware of who's gotten a contract because Conor went out and got it for him. There's nobody that lost their contract because Conor was unhappy. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. This is an act. He does not have power. He went for the I need a percentage, I need a couple of percentage. He does not have power. Now, it's interesting. I'm not putting him down. I love this. I love this. But he's going to continue to sell the idea of power. He's doing it now, making everybody involved jump on everything that he says. And it is true, the line that he has. I hope I can find a way to put this in my thumbnail. You do as you're told. And there is no exception right now. So at some point, Chandler might want to consider telling him to shove it up his ass. He might consider telling him, you have until tomorrow at noon. He might consider coming out and saying, I've got a better idea. There's not a whole lot of options, guys. You can go along, and every day that goes by, you're getting pinged and you're getting ponged, and you are unemployed. If the fight's a lock and it just hasn't come out with the announcement yet, then it doesn't make a difference. Go call someone else out. Conor told you you're going to do as you're told. Conor told you he's going to fight who he wants, when he wants, apparently in whatever jurisdiction he wants. Apparently in any weight class that we decide to flip a coin and come on. I mean, he's done everything and everybody's backed him up. It turns out that, yeah, that's it. You're going to do as you're told. It's not a bad idea to come out and start doing a little bit of that telling, right? If the fight comes and everything's great, okay, cool, that's all that's going to be remembered. But if you go through this rigmarole, the whole world is talking about this. We're all looking at it. We're all going, man, what's he missing here? This fight's not going to happen. And you're sitting there and you're waiting for it, and it doesn't happen. You've lost. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. If McGregor-Chandler doesn't happen, Conor McGregor's next fight will be in a main event. Do we all agree? If McGregor and Chandler doesn't happen, Conor's next fight could be for a title. Particularly with the BMF coming back. Very realistic. Do we all agree? If Conor and Chandler's fight doesn't happen, Chandler in no scenario will be fighting for a title. And in a very unlikely scenario, he does not return to a main event. I mean, do you see the difference? Do you see the massive and colossal difference? And I know that you do. I know that you do. You haven't taken the time until now to ask yourself why.